Qlife has recently reported its Q4 results and concluded the 2025 financial year. With us today is Qlife CEO Thomas Warthoe. Welcome, Thomas.
Thank you.
Could you start off by summarizing 2025?
Oh yeah, our 2025 was a busy year for us. You know, we are a technology company that has been working many years to develop our blood testing technologies into our platform that we call Egoo Health. We want to move blood testing away from hospitals into people's home, and we want to allow layperson to be able to sit at home and test their blood values right there on the spot and get the results in the home. So we've been working on that for a long time, and I guess you could say that in 2025 we transitioned from being a technology company to becoming a product company. So we are now focused on turning these technology into products, and that means we also have a lot more focus on the commercial side. We want to bring the products into commercial settings, and we want to start selling them. So essentially, we are executing on our strategic priorities. And I think for me personally, that's really, really nice that we now are here after these years of development, because that's really what you want to do, being a development R&D company to become a commercial company that sells products. So that's very nice. Specifically, during 2025, we finalized a clinical study, which is always the basis for this type of product that we have, that we need to show it in a clinical setting, that it works, you know, real life, and we can document that. And end of the year, we were fortunate enough to be able to submit for an approval for our product. And that's kind of a proof of concept for us to be able to do that, because it means that we now can focus on the future and be commercial. And furthermore, we started a project in China, in a big Chinese hospital in Beijing, where we are focused in the diabetes field. And we put a new assay on our Egoo Health platform, the assay for long-time blood sugar called HbA1c. And we technically proved that our system is working very, very well. With very good precision, below 3%, which is amazing. And we also put it into this setting and is proving that people can use it there. They're very happy with it. And finally, we have all through 25 been working with our strategic partner, Hipro Biotechnology in China, about working closer together and actually even merging. We can get back to that, but we entered a strategic alliance, and so we also broadened our product portfolio. So besides our own developed system, we now also have their products, and that gives us even more leverage in a commercial context. So I think we achieved a lot during 25. And we are definitely ready for a very busy 26.
Okay, interesting. And what are your top priorities for the next 6 to 12 months? And what are your long-term goals?
Yeah, so let me just first explain that our business model for Egoo Health is, you know, we can put many different biomarkers on Egoo Health. And sort of each application represents a big area of disease field, but also a big business opportunity. So we have now put the first application on, and we have proven that, and we will continue to put more applications on the system. We already made that public, that besides the area of phenylketonuria, which is a rare disease, we are also focused on diabetes, congestive heart failure, and kidney failure. So during the next 6 to 12 months, we will continue to expand into these areas, and we will put products further into regulatory. So basically expanding on the platform. And that means that you could say the prerequisite or the basis for Egoo Health is that we have the clinical and technological validation, and that's exactly what we have now. And we will over the next 6 to 12 months continue to prove that. So I'm really happy that we are at that stage, because that means that we could start to enter partnerships. You know, we are a small company, so we have no illusions that we can sell globally by ourselves. We would like to partner each of these applications with different types of companies in the in vitro diagnostic field, in the pharmaceutical field, in the consumer health field, and in the tech field. There's interest from everywhere, because everyone are interested in health from different contexts and different perspectives. So based on where we are and what I just explained, we think that over the next 6 to 12 months, we will be able to partner with big global companies that have the ability to sell our products, you know, into many different areas and globally. And we are already in discussions with several companies in each field. And I'm quite certain that interesting things will happen. But we will have to wait and see. And it takes time to make partnerships, but it's a complicated field, because you need to have a lot of documentation and prove the product. But it looks good.
Okay, interesting. And you mentioned Hipro before. What is the rollout plan for Hipro products in Europe and the US?
Yeah, so we have chosen also to take in Hipro products, because they complement our products really, really well. And we are also adding some of our technology feature into Hipro products. So it's kind of a joint development. And that means when we go out to partners and, you know, both commercial partners, but also hospitals and doctors in different settings, they all have different wishes to what they want to measure related to whatever, you know, disease field they're working with. And with this portfolio of Hipro product and our products, we can offer basically, you know, what they need, because each of these platforms typically can run the test that they need. So that gives us a much better opportunity to provide a customer with what they need and what they want. So it puts us in a much stronger position, and that has worked really well. For instance, we are now in pharmacies. We have started a pilot project, and that is in operation here in Denmark. And people can walk in from the street, and we offer a range of tests. And some of them are on our system, and some of them are on Hipro system. And that is a proof of what I just said, that we broadly can cover, you know, what the people need and want. So I think that works really well for us. And in terms of the partnerships discussions, it's also something that's highly appreciated and gives us a lot of strength in these talks with big global companies.
Right. Yeah. And where are you in the Hipro reverse takeover process? And what is the next step?
Yes, so we have been all of 25. We were in heavy discussions, also including with NASDAQ, about the structure of how we could merge. And in the end, it turned out that it wasn't possible to find a structure that would fulfill all NASDAQ requirements. And we just have to respect that. You know, that's how it is. We have said that we will continue to work on the merger because of all the reasons I said before. You know, we are really a very nice fit. And so we will continue to do that, and we are working on a structure that we think potentially could be accepted down the road. But and that could happen in 26. We simply don't know today. I think we also have to take into account that you know, the big global political markets and systems or atmosphere is complicated for the moment. So we have to wait until the atmosphere, so to speak, is better. I think that also plays into the picture, but that's my own opinion. Fundamentally, we have to find a structure that fulfills all the requirements to be a listed joint company. It could happen in 26. We will have to wait and see. But in the meantime, we are continuing to work really closely with Hipro. We have their products. We are partnering their products together with our products, and that works really well. And I think in 26 we will see more to how we intend to materialize that.
Okay. And you also have some submissions ongoing. One of them is the Egoo PHE submission. I was wondering what the current status is and when you expect the next updates for the review process.
Yeah, we were really happy to get that submission done because it's Egoo PHE is a proof of concept product for us. It's a relatively small market, but it's a good one, well-defined need by these PKU people that need to measure their blood as often as possible. So that's really nice. And the review process is a dynamic process where, you know, once you have all the documentation, which is really, really hard to get together, both in terms of documenting the system, but also all the data and clinical trials, you know, you have to run all these data and show how good the system is and that it fulfills everything. So we have submitted that. They will come back with questions if they have any. And then it's a dynamic process where we could expect, you know, Q&As 2-3 times. And then hopefully sooner or later, they will allow the product on the market. I expect that this could happen probably in the second half of 26. That's what we're hoping for.
Okay. And if you obtain the CE IVD approval for PHE testing, what does that enable in the short and long term?
Yeah, it's. I think that system proves that our system is very well positioned to be sort of the game changer for measuring clinical blood values in your home. So it would be really, really nice. It would make a big difference for the people that live with PKU on a daily basis. And so we would be able to sort of establish ourselves as the leading company in the self-testing home diagnostic field. It would also mean that we would most likely partner it, because as I said, we are not really a global company, but we want global companies to take our products and commercialize them. So that would happen, and we would start to generate revenue, most likely just after we have gotten the approval stamp. We will start to sell it ourselves, but then someone bigger would take over. And I think in that case, you could say that with that stamp, our business model would be somewhat validated, and we would be able to not only materialize that business case, but also all the next big business cases in diabetes, heart failure, and kidney failure that I was talking about. And so we could move much faster forward. And I'm really looking forward to that.
Interesting. And you also have a rights issue ongoing. How will the rights issue proceeds to be used? And based on your plan, how long will you expect the cash runway to be?
Yes. So we will be using the proceeds that we received from the rights issue in a very disciplined execution way, you could say, meaning that we will only focus on relatively few but high value creating projects, because again we are small, so we want to impact deep where we are focused, but we don't want to do it everywhere, because that would require, you know, a much bigger company. So we will continue the projects that have been talking about, and make sure that those are well implemented because they prove our case. Then we will continue in regulatory filings with the next biomarkers, because that's the fundamental basis for what we do, that we obtain regulatory approvals. And for big tech companies, that's what they want to see. They don't want to buy R&D projects today. They want to buy regulatory approved products that generate revenue. That's what the big companies want. On a side remark, I can say 10 years, 15 years ago, it was more easy to partner technology projects. But today, you have to be much, much better. You have to show that your product can go through regulatory, that it has excellent data, and even that it generates revenue. Although small revenue, the moment that it generates revenue, it's a real product, and the bigger companies can take over and capitalize forward. So that's where we will focus the cash from the rights issue to achieve those things. And there will be a very clear governance between the management and our board. They are following very closely what we are doing, so we are not overspending. And I think we have a really good relationship there, and in the end, it's really all about creating strategic value for the company. And I think we're on the way to do that.
Okay, great. And looking at 2026, which milestone matters the most?
Yeah, so we want to create what I would call a scalable, differentiated diagnostic platform. And we do that by having successful projects. And that's what we have. We are in the pharmacy, we are in diabetes, we are in PKU, we will come into heart failure project. And those projects, we will file the regulatory filings. We will make the regulatory filings. And those milestones are important for us, because as soon as we do that, we can in parallel partner the projects. And the partnerships will look at the projects, and they will follow it closely and say, wow, that's nice, that works really well. Now we can take over. And then for some of these projects, the front runners, we will start to generate revenue. And that's always important, because that proves you. We will continue to work with Hipro. Hipro has become a technology hub for us, where we develop technology for the next generation. There's a lot of exciting things going on there, and they're very, very happy with our product, which is especially focused on diabetes and integration for AI and other features that are a little bit different in China, but makes the product platform really, really, really interesting for a huge market. And they will soon be going there. So a lot of technology development going on with the platform, and we will see some interesting things coming out from there. So when all of these things comes together and we hit them as milestones and they materialize, I think that Egoo Health and Qlife is positioned for scale in 2026, and that's what we are working really hard on.
Okay, sounds interesting. All right, then I would like to wish you all the best in 2026, and also thank you for your time, Thomas.
Thank you so much, Felix. I appreciate it.